Okay, we are live. Make sure we're looking good. Okay, are we live?
Pero no he borrado ninguna de sus fotos. Todavía, lo último que quedó con él es, tuve que hacer lo que tenías que hacer. La última vez que hablé con ella, ya no me voy a hacer. O sea, ella me...
Okay, I think that's gonna be better for us. Yeah. I think we up. I think we're good. I think we're good. Oh, that's way better. Okay, got it. All right, what is good, guys? You know, another day, another cafe. I think I got the streaming thing down packed now at this point. But I wanted to use the better camera. Hey, we straight, man. We straight. We're straight. What's good, guys? Another cafe, another day. So right now we're at a cafe called Natito in Merida, Mexico. And if you guys are in the area, if you're in Centro and Merida, pull up. Pull up. There's another seat right here and it's empty. So you're more than welcome to come pull up and collab in the video if you want to on live. I ordered some chilaquiles and here it comes right now. Gracias. I think she's getting me utensils right now. Ah. Gracias. Okay. Guys, just look at this, man. Oh my gosh. Can y'all see that? I don't want to slide off the plate. These chilaquiles with mole and chicken. Okay. Got a few people in the building already. It's good, guys. Chats are open too. And I think I monetized this live as well. So you guys can send in super chats if you want to. But if you're in Merida and Centro, pull up on me at Natito. It's air conditioned. Coffee on me if you pull up. But yeah, this chilaquiles is fire. And if you guys tuned in earlier to the 5 a.m. live, or it wasn't at 5 a.m. probably where you're at, but I got with a few of the guys, man. We did a run this morning in the Alta Brisa area, and we had a really good talk, man. It was an impromptu live stream, and we were talking about like some real issues with the Black community in America, and I think that honestly is something that's not discussed too often, to be completely honest with you guys. Yeah, so the three guys that I did the run with this morning, all three of them are from the US, and all three of them live in Merida full time. Like, they're not going back. One of them purchased land and built a custom house on that land. And the other one, the darker skinned one from the earlier live, he moved down here. He's former military, and he does trading down here, right? And then the lighter skinned one, he is a director for a company in America, and he works remotely. So he makes US dollars, and he lives down here in Mexico. And all of them have families too, right? And we were just discussing some real issues and what's going on in the black community in the US. But I'll get into the dating in Latin America, which is the topic of this video. But this chilaquiles is fire, bro. I'll retail. And I got some coffee too. I've been up since like 4 this morning, so I can do the run at 5. So I've been up for quite a long time, man. This is the first meal of the day. All right, let's do a first taste of the chilaquiles. Oh, it's fire. It's fire. Legit. It's like we're trying a new cafe every single day on a live. This place is fire, man. Bro, insane. The food here in this city alone, man. It's so good. Yeah, but the live from this morning, guys, lit. I wish we had microphones. I wish we had microphones to kind of capture the content correctly, but it was so like last minute. It was impromptu. Like I started the live in the middle of our conversation because we started talking about everything, and I figure it'll make great content for people to actually hear the mindset of different expats that have left the U.S. and have moved down here to Merida, Mexico. And you guys got like literally the most raw feedback or the most raw review you could ever get about the lifestyle in the U.S. And it's absolutely crazy that we can just leave the U.S. and actually be happy outside the U.S. I should just rename this live like something else, but we can talk about dating too. But the chats are open, so you guys can ask questions too. You can also ask me how good this chilaquiles with mole is. Bro. Oh my gosh, I've never actually had chilaquiles with mole before. I've always had it with like green or red salsa. Mole is hidden. The mole is hidden here. And speaking of like dating here in Latin America, it's a couple of nice looking young ladies on the other side of me. But yeah, this is fire. But yeah, questions are out there, guys. Like, let me know if you got any questions about like dating here in Latin America. If y'all are in the U.S. or in another country, let me know if you have any questions on like, is it easier down here? Is it better? Is the quality better? Let me know. get started. So, dating in Latin America. As a U.S. expat, it's interesting. And like I've told you guys before, learn the language. Learn the language, learn Spanish. Become at least conversational in Spanish, so you can have a conversation with the locals that live here. Because it's our responsibility as expats to learn the language of the country that we relocate to. It's not the locals' responsibility to know English. Right? Even though a lot of Mexicans do speak English, we need to come to Mexico or Latin America in general and speak the actual language of that country. Okay? Charles in the building. And my apologies, Charles. I'm reading from another device that I'm using. Smash that like button. Sub up if you guys aren't subbed up. Yeah, we're gonna start talking about dating here in Latin America, man. So, I think I've said this in a lot of my other streams. Before you relocate to a different country, you have to make sure that you have made some type of passive source of income in USD that can support yourself outside of America. And I've covered this multiple times, right? Whether it's real estate that gets you rental income every single month, crypto, stocks, literally anything, or you can work a remote job, right? So you can work like a customer service job, and that's gonna give you enough money to survive on down here, if not thrive, right? You make it $15, $16, $17 an hour with a remote job that's like in customer service, like an entry-level job. You can really thrive down here with that job if you're able to work outside of the US, right? I'm checking, guys, so don't mind me at all. But yeah, like I said, you gotta support yourself while you're down here, because when you move down here and you're single and halfway decent looking dude, pause, you're gonna have to compete with the other wealthy Mexican men out here to actually like start dating out here, because there are very wealthy Mexicans out here, right? One second, I'm gonna take another bite. So good, man. And I'll go step by step on how to like meet women here in Latin America to date. And I'm talking about like dating seriously, right? Not like it's a crazy hookup culture out here, but to actually date and take someone seriously out here, I'll show you guys how to find one. I'll show you guys how to find one. When I show you, I'll tell you. Is the audio coming okay? Because everyone's starting to talk right now. Y'all gotta bear with me for a minute, man. This food is really, really good. This shit hitting, low-key. But Step number one.
Parece, pero no es algo que me levanta y yo como que solo me dejo ir.
On dating out here in Latin America.
Sí, esa parte me da ubicada. Sí, yo también busqué esa parte de mi vida para subirla en inglés.
Actually, step 0. Work on yourself. Okay? So that is getting in shape, being well read, or at least know about how like the world really works. And third is to, of course, make money. So once you have all those 3 pre-steps in order, then you can kind of begin dating in Latin America, right? So the first step in dating Latin America is figuring out what your type is, okay? Because here in Latin America, there's a large range of looks and of women. They have lighter skin tone, darker skin tone, curly hair, straight hair, in between. They have very thin build women out here. They have thick women. They have in between there as well. So you have to figure out what you like, and every guy knows exactly what they want in a woman. So once you find out what that is, then you can begin your search. And step 2 is the search. So everyone may go to like dating apps like Bumble. I don't know what the other ones are that actually work in Latin America, but Bumble, and I know there's like a couple more that aren't widely used in the US, but are more widely used in Latin America. So you can use dating apps if you don't have a lot of free time. But if you have free time, the same thing in the US applies here. The most powerful way to meet other people in general, not just women, is to just go out and be outside, essentially, right? So being outside, not necessarily going to like a nightclub or whatever, that's cool and everything. You can go do that. But go to lounges, go to bars, walk around the city, go to parks, or if you find like I don't know, if you have like a hobby, right? If you have a hobby down here, you can find a group out here that shares that same hobby, and you never know, you might find someone that you like there as well. So just being outside and meeting people in person is one of the most powerful things you can do to not only meet people in general, but just to meet women as well. So, step 3, after this bite, because this food is fire. And again, I'm at Natito in Centro, in Merida. If you guys are in the area, hey, stop by, man. Stop by and pull up on me. Well, this is fire. Let me eat this, and then I'll tell you guys step 3. Why am I always in the noisiest environments? Ever. Okay. Step 3. How do you go on the date? Okay. Simple, right? Ask her. But before you ask her, you have to ask a lot of prerequisite questions beforehand, right? If you happen to meet somebody on a dating app, make sure when you message them on a dating app, you try your best to get them to give you their Instagram or any type of social media. And this is where let me know if y'all can hear me, man, because there's a lot of noise around me. But that's when the vetting process starts. So you go through their Instagram, you go through their Facebook or what have you, you go through their social media. You make sure they're not like a 304 and they're not like out here behaving crazy, because you are able to kind of get a sense of a person by the way their social media looks. And if that's their type of speed, if you like what is on their social media, 9 times out of 10, that's who they actually are in real life. And if that's what you like, that may be the one for you, as long as it meets a certain physical look threshold that men have. Out here in Latin America, you do very, very well if you're just a normal dude in America making good money. But you have to just know what you want and know how to get it and how to get to it. So once you look at their Instagram, their social media, or what have you, and they fit what you like, that's when you're like, hey, what are you doing tonight? Or what are you doing tomorrow? I like to always advise to ask for a date within the first 48 hours of adding them on Instagram. Okay? So she says yes to the date, right? So the next step is going to be, where do you take her on a date? And this is where a lot of guys fail, especially in Latin America and America, like in the US, okay? So if you say, for instance, and for example, you're someone that just arrived here in Merida or in Latin America, and you don't know Spanish that well, but your date doesn't speak great English. Is that an L? Not totally like an L at all, but what you can do for the date is to find something that is active, like an activity that gets you guys a little bit closer physically without necessarily having to communicate very often, right? So there can be events like a show, like they have live shows here, like outdoor live shows. They have mini golf, they have arcades, something light, right? You don't want to, invest too much into the first date, but you just want to get a sense of that person in person. And if you guys don't necessarily speak the same language fluently, you can think of other activities like go-karting or something along those lines to make sure that you guys, you necessarily don't have to communicate a lot, but you can still be active and just be whipping that shit if you in the go-kart. And let her win if y'all happen to if you guys go go-karting. Let her win. And don't be nervous, man, when you're on this first date, because I can guarantee you that she's just as nervous as you, if not more. If you're a good-looking dude, she's probably way more nervous than you, bro. Just go in there with a lot of confidence, too. And don't let her pay on the first date. Guys, you pay every single time on the first date. And if you do well, the results will show. And of course, that's like if everything works out 100% perfectly every single time, right? But there are times where the dating out here could be kind of harsh, bro. Like you get women that flake, you get women that will show up and it's a catfish. It hasn't happened to me ever. But the way that you kind of overcome the catfish situation, it's super easy, man. What you have to do is get them on a video call. Easy. So if it's WhatsApp, FaceTime, you get them on a live video call where it's like the actual person on the other side of the phone is them. You can verify that, and that can be for your own safety and for your own sanity. And if it doesn't match up, like they don't look like their photos on Instagram or social media, then you can cut it right there before you spend any bread on a date, okay? But if they are who they said they are, then you're good to go. Ask for that date and go. I'm trying to think of some other like pitfalls that people may encounter when dating out here in Latin America. How to avoid working women is probably it's one of the top things to be of concern if you're looking to take someone seriously in Latin America. is that it's a thing out here. It's a real thing, and it's very apparent, even in cities like Merida. Like it's very apparent here as well. The way that you can avoid 304s or working women is to ask the woman what she does for a living. If she says, I'm an influencer, or I'm a content creator, or I work at very odd hours of the night, what does that tell you, bro? What does that tell you? She either got an OF or she's working. And one way to really find a good way to, like a good woman out here in Latin America, is to find a girl working at a mall or working in a store in La Tienda. If you find a really good looking chick, a chica, in like a market, she's working like a fruit market or whatever, or she's working at a mall, a store in the mall, and she's like halfway decent looking, and oh, we got a couple chats. I'm gonna read the chats in a second. Finding women that work 9 to 5s in Latin America, that's gonna give you higher odds of finding a woman that's not a 304, okay? And someone that you can actually take seriously here in Latin America is to find someone that works a regular job. And then you take her on a date, and after that, it's up to you what you want to do. While I think of some more pitfalls, I'm gonna read through the chats real quick. Alex in the building. What's up, Alex? YouTube be killing me with these late ass notifications. What up, bro? Oh, what up, B? B Williams in the building? What's up, bro? I see you chilling in Merida, Yucatan. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yucatan is my favorite state in Mexico. It used to be Jalisco, but for sure, so Yucatan has a lot of history, and I don't know, man. It's something about the Yucatan, man. It's just the people here are just real and authentic. It's crazy. Trying to think of some other pitfalls that people may encounter here dating. One second. Shout out to Alex donating on the first donation of the stream. Appreciate that, Alex. I really do, man. That's love, man. That's real love. I appreciate that, bro. Let's see. Other pitfalls in dating here, bro. I almost hate to say this, bro. There is a lot of racism here in Mexico, especially towards like foreigners. And you have to kind of deal with this if you are going to be taking someone seriously. You're going to have to meet the parents, right? You're going to meet the parents, meet the family, the la familia, because people here in Mexico are very, very family oriented and very family centered. So you have to get along with their family, okay? And one of the ways that you can kind of alleviate the typical stereotypical gringo from America is, first of all, spending time here, boots on the ground, in the country. Second of all, learning the language, being conversational, right? You don't have to be super fluent or whatever, but at least be conversational, bro. Do the Duolingo, read in Spanish, watch Netflix in Spanish and YouTube in Spanish, at least with the subtitles, bro, in Spanish, at the very minimum. And I think it's gonna get a little loud in here in a second, but let me know if you guys can still hear me. But learning the language and appreciating the culture goes a long way with not only the girl that you're dating, but also their family. You can say, hey, I visited X, Y, and Z here in Merida, or here in Brazil, or here in Colombia, and that gives you some sort of social proof with the family as well. If you can speak the language, you've been to a lot of attractions in that particular city or country, and you can just hold a conversation. That's how you get well liked in the family and here in Latin America for sure. And that is very important to the woman that you're going to be dating, is that that girl's family likes you. You can't do anything about your skin color. So if they don't like you for your skin color, man, it's an L. But that is a real thing here in Latin America. They will judge you on skin color too. But if you're from the US and you speak Spanish and you speak it decently, you can hold a conversation and you kind of absorb some of the culture, then that is going to go a long way when it comes to dating here. And a lot of guys kind of skip over that. They think they can just use the translator for every single conversation they want to have with a girl. Bro, no. Just take the time out, 30 minutes a day. You have 30 minutes, right? You have 30 minutes a day to go on Duolingo or watch an episode of Black Mirror or something on Netflix, watch it in Spanish, and start to write down new words in Spanish, bro. That's exactly like how I'm learning my Spanish. And
Todas esas como categorizaciones, pues al final eran dos cosas antes, porque sí habían más de nuestra edad o más en aro, pero no en dueto, no en intermedio.
okay, I think, are we back?
Entonces como que lo que juntan esas cuatro categorías al final con muchas cosas. Mientras más tarde, pues muchas cosas menos gente.
Okay, I think we're back. Trying to make sure. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're back on. Okay, we're back on. Cool. Guys, we're back. Boy, I was cooking, bro. They're trying to take us down, man. I'm trying to give y'all value, bro. Okay, I think we're good. I appreciate y'all like staying with me, man. Yo. See, that's the downside of doing like live streaming sometimes, is that you will experience some connectivity issues. But I really do appreciate you guys like hanging with me for a bit, bro. Crazy. Because the Wi-Fi in like the cafes here, and this is why I do the live streams in like coffee shops sometimes, is that the Wi-Fi is typically strong, but in this particular one, upload speeds are doo-doo, bro. So I appreciate y'all sticking with me, bro. But let me take a bite of this, and we can get back to it. Where do we leave off at before it started messing up, so I can kind of continue on from there? Okay, we got 8 people in the building, man. Super chats are open. Alex came in with the first super chat of the stream. So who's gonna beat Alex, man? Y'all let me know. Alex is my boy, though, man. Alex is so cool, man. All right, so where we left off at, I think before the stream cut out. I think I was cooking, bro. I was so upset. Maybe break my train of thought. But let me kind of do a recap. So for you guys that are tuning in after the fact, you can kind of get a gist and understanding of how dating goes here in Latin America. So I kind of alluded to what actually creates attraction out here in Latin America. Of course, the typical hater is going to say, oh, if you make a whole bunch of money, you're a gringo, you got a US passport, she's going to love you regardless. That is false, right? The language. Okay. So the language with this, man, learning the language is something that is going to it creates an attraction trigger out here. If you are like a normal looking dude, like a decent looking dude, you get in shape, and of course, money is a component as well. Learning the language is a superpower, because honestly, that can override a lot of the stuff that you maybe more or less lacking. So you can come into the game fluent in Spanish, looking dusty, low key. You can look dusty and know the language and low key still find a woman out here, bro. It's possible for you. It's possible for you, but you have to be able to provide some type of value, right? So what is stopping a woman from Colombia, from a Brazil, from a Mexico, from dating a local person that's already here, that knows the language, is established out here, has money already? There's nothing stopping them. So why would they date you as a foreigner? You have to come to the table with not only what the guys that already live here have, but you have to be a step above that. Okay? Which is why I tell you guys the prerequisites are so important for you to do, is because it's needed. AJ, how are the people in Merida there and their personalities? Very good question, B. So I've been coming back and forth to Merida for the past like 3 or 4 years, and I've lived here for about 6 months, right? So that kind of gives me a good litmus test of how the people are out here. And I'll tell you 100% of the time, bro, not once at all have I ever been discriminated against, at least overtly. But out here in Merida, the people are absolutely incredible, okay? They're so caring. And if you try to speak Spanish to them, they will try their best to understand what you're saying. And on top of that, if you do say like an incorrect word or something like that, they will politely correct you. Say for instance, like I was in Central maybe like a year and a half, 2 years ago, when I wasn't great at Spanish. There was this guy at a restaurant I was going to in Centro, and I asked for the check in Spanish, and the check in Spanish when you go to a restaurant is called la cuenta, right? So I didn't know that. I literally just went to Google Translate, typed in bill. In Spanish, it popped out factura. And that's not what I actually wanted. So factura is very different than la cuenta, okay? So a factura is more like a utility bill. La cuenta is the bill for like a restaurant, the check to actually pay at a restaurant. So I used factura when I was asking for the bill at the restaurant, and the waiter politely corrected me and was like, hey, this is la cuenta and not factura. And I'm like, oh shit. Nobody would have told me that in America if I had kept using factura, right? So it's just those little things where the people in Merida actually care about you. Say for instance, even this morning, there was an instance where my keys fell out of my pocket in my Didi on the way to the morning run, right? So the Didi driver actually whipped that shit back around, came back, and gave the keys to one of the people I was running with. And that just goes to show you like how caring these people are. Because in America, I guarantee you, an Uber driver finds some keys, they'd be like, that's just their loss. That's it, it's a wrap. And then the person that lost the keys is just out of luck, right? But people down here in Merida is different, bro. She literally spent her time, her gas, to come back around and drop off the keys to one of the guys that I was running with, because low key, I got shin splits early on in the run, and I was like, yo, y'all can leave me, bro. Like they went far ahead. I'm like, bro, guys, leave me. I'll sit here and deal with it. But yeah, the DD driver came back around, gave the keys, and dipped. And I didn't even get a chance to tip her or anything. I didn't even know what was going on. So that just goes to show you, even without you needing to even give them anything monetary, they'll still look out for you. So the people down here in Merida in particular, I can speak for, are amazing, bro. And I've been to quite a few cities here in Mexico, and it's honestly been an ongoing thing. And I honestly think that comes from them being so family focused. Okay? Because in America, we have a sense of, okay, we'll care for our immediate family, right? But as far as our extended families, our cousins and stuff on our mother's or father's sides, we may not speak to one side of the family and speak to the other. But here in Mexico, it's totally different. Everybody speaks to everybody, and everybody comes together for the Sunday get-togethers for the family. Because Mexico has a 6-day work week, and the 7th day, they have that day free. Okay, so Sunday is their available day to spend with whatever they want to do, and a lot of them do spend it with family. And that's why I think that the people and the culture down here is so different than the US. It's just because of how family focused they are. I hope that answered your question, Brandon. But chats are open, guys. I hate to be like a begging YouTuber, but super chats are also open as well. If you guys have really detailed questions to ask, you can ask that through a super chat, and I'll go through everything with you. If you have to ask a more in-depth question about Merida, travel, dating, how to make money, like anything, you can literally ask me anything, and I got y'all. This food is fire, by the way. It's fire, bro. How long we been on, bro? We've been on for a minute, since 10, almost an hour. Charles, very good question. I'll answer that in a second. I'm trying to give value, and the food's getting cold. So just excuse me. I might have to chow down on this in a second. But Charles says, how's the nightlife entertainment? So are you speaking about Merida in general? Or sorry, are you speaking about Merida in particular or Mexico as a whole? But I'll give you both. So Merida in general, it's not a real big party city. Okay? They do have bars, they have clubs, nightclubs, but it's not a party destination or a party-centric city. That's why, like, when I come here to Merida, I behave like I'm at home, right? So I'll do like my early morning runs or walks every single day. I'll work out, visit my friends that live here, go to my normal hangout spots. Like last night I went to Dissolve, which is like a jazz bar down here, and I'm really into jazz, and that is the place that I typically go to every single time that I'm here. And I was also in attendance of a play yesterday, and it was for The Lion King, and it was all in English, and it was all done by children of expats that live in Merida. And it was such an amazing thing to really see. The expat community down here in Merida is so strong that it kind of negates the not so great nightlife here. But that also plays into the entertainment piece as well, right? So we saw a play. It had all the kids from the expat communities here. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing, man. It wasn't just black people, and that's the best thing about it. It wasn't just black people. There were whites. There were everything. Everybody was there. Like I don't think we even see color down here. As long as you say you're from America, let's break bread. Let's go have a drink. Let's go have a beer or whatever. Like, I don't care. I don't care what you look like. If you say you're American, you speak English, bro, come shoot the shit with me, man. It's fine. So, in totality, for Merida, nightlife, not so great when you compare it to other cities like Mexico City, Guadalajara, Puerto Vallarta,
Y hay que ver
it's just
los carros.
different. Merida is like
En su carro y en el carro.
home, if that makes sense.
Y Ari me dijo
Like you don't want to throw a party
de la-
in somewhere that you kind of like live, right? You want to throw a party outside. So people from Merida, they go to Mexico City, Guadalajara. They vacation to these other cities to go party. Playa del Carmen is only four hours away east. But they come here to relax, have a family, settle down. This is the place to do it. But in Mexico as a whole, if you go to like major touristic cities, nightlife, great, bro. Mexico City nightlife is, I think it has to be one of the best in the country. Cancun, of course, but Cancun is just played out low key. Cancun is definitely played out. And let's see, Playa del Carmen is better, in my opinion, to a better alternative to Cancun because it's more walkable, bro. There's in the state of Quintana Roo, there is no ride share allowed. It's not legal. So there's no Uber, there's no Didi. You have to rely on cabs, and I think there's an app called InDriver that people can use, but it's super unreliable. So I just typically I get like a centrally located Airbnb, and then I can walk all over the city. But Mexico is a party country, bro. Mexico is a party country. So if you're coming here to party, you can come to like a home base like Merida. This is where like you would do your first stop and kind of relax, vacation a little bit, go to the beach. It's only 30 minutes away north. And then when you're ready to turn up, ready to go party, that's when you can go to Playa del Carmen. 4-hour bus ride. It's like $20 on Adeo Platino. So Adeo is the bus system here, and Platino is like first class equivalent on the bus. Where you have like recliner seats, you have snacks, you got a big screen TV or what have you, you got USB charging. Take a 4-hour bus ride east, Playa del Carmen or Cancun, if that's your speed. Playa del Carmen, you get there, that's when you can turn up, that's when you can party, that's when you go by the bottle service, that's when you go out and go crazy. But if you want to chill, relax type of atmosphere, Merida is where it's at. Mexico City is way too overcrowded. Guadalajara is like a Mexico City Junior. It does get kind of overcrowded as well, but I honestly am a huge fan of Guadalajara. That's one of my favorite cities in Mexico. And I've been to Cabo San Lucas. Cabo San Lucas is another party city. It's like a West Coast version of Cancun, in my opinion. And that is not the place you really want to be if you want to settle down and have a family, right? So let's see. I believe that Cancun and Cozumel, Mexico, more of a nightlife party. It is. Yeah, Cancun is a party spot for like the first timers here in Mexico, right? So it's those folks that like just turned 20, 21, or I think 18 is the legal drinking age here. So people that 18, 19, 20, they go to Cancun and tear it up, whatever, right? Cozumel is more tailored. It's an island, right? So Cozumel is an island. I'm trying to really not say too much, so my apologies. Cozumel is more tailored to, I would say, the wealthier travelers because it's on an island. Typically, it's more of a chill atmosphere, but they do have a party scene in Cozumel as well. Yes. Okay, any more questions, man? We definitely got a few people in the building, man. I'm here, man. I'm here for y'all. I'm sitting here enjoying. This is great, man. You guys really rock with me, man. I appreciate that. And I promise you guys a daily IRL stream every single day while I'm here in Mexico. You guys got 2 today. So it's amazing, man. I love hanging out with y'all, man. This is literally like, I would love to do this for a living. I really would, man. I can talk all day about travel. I can literally talk all day about travel, bro. Upscale visitors for sure. Yeah, Cozumel is, and Tulum. Oh man, don't get me started on Tulum. Tulum is for the people that think that Cozumel is not good enough. Tulum is so beautiful, but it's so expensive. That was the first time that I spent $25 on a cheeseburger and fries in Mexico, bro. And then the hookah, they have hookah out here too, right? So I tend to dabble in hookah like here and there. Bro, don't get hookah in Mexico, period, man. Don't get it. Bro. You think $30 in the US is expensive for hookah? Bruh. I went to a spot in Playa del Carmen called the Purple Kingdom, and they charged me $70 US for a hookah. $70 US for a hookah. And it wasn't even good, bro. And it was in a regular bowl, like it wasn't in like a pineapple or an orange or like some over the top type of like deal. It was just a regular ass hookah for $70. And I just did it because I was drunk at the time. I'm not gonna cop. I'm not gonna even hold you. I was tipsy, man, and when I was with a really good group of people, and I was like, you know what? YOLO. Why not? $70 for a hookah. Why not? Shit's ridiculous, man. I will never do that. Never do it again. Have you ever been to Acapulco? I have never been to Acapulco. I want to though. But I think the next city I want to go to in Mexico is La Paz, Mexico. My boy QB Passport Flexing, shout out to him. You guys should go subscribe to QB Passport Flexing. He actually is a big advocate of La Paz, and he's told me to go, and I'm like, bro, all right, I'll go. Let's get it. But never been to Acapulco, man. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable, unthinkable, yeah. The price is crazy, bro. But throw some more questions at me, guys. I'm here. I'm gonna just hang out until y'all get tired, bro, or until I finish this food. I'm just chilling, man. Today I'm chilling. Tomorrow is Memorial Day for Americans, so it's a holiday for people that don't know or not from the USA. And a lot of people from my audience are not from the USA. So Memorial Day is essentially a day we're supposed to take to remember all the people that gave up their lives defending our country. And a lot of people just low-key take off to have barbecues and have get-togethers with their loved ones. So tomorrow I'm going to be going to Progreso Beach with a few expats that I did a run with this morning. And we're going to do a live stream there, and you guys will low-key get some sauce on how they relocated out here, and you get more of an in-depth type of feel with those folks there. And I'll bring the microphones this time with me, so you guys will get the best audio quality as possible. So we're not going to have the crazy audio issues that we had this morning. But hopefully you guys got some value out of that too this morning, that we had a good conversation. Because one of the guys from this morning's live stream, he was a correction officer for Rikers Island in New York for 10 years, right? So having that type of background and still being able to relocate to Mexico and do it sustainably, that story needs to be told, okay? Because you literally can come from every facet of life, and if you have a goal in mind, you can achieve it. And if you guys keep hearing stories about people that become successful from being a correction officer, Rikers Island, right? And you have another guy that's military, still, we all came to the same place from different walks of life. And that proves to you, if you really do have a goal in mind, you can achieve that. But you have to really hear the stories and listen to people that have done it before you, figure out your own path to what your goal is, and then you make that your own, and then you can achieve your own level of success, man. It's possible out here. You have to just think outside of the box. Like one guy, he does trading. He teaches trading, and that's how he makes a living out here. Another guy works remotely. He's an executive for a company back in the U.S. Different walk of life, same place, same 5 a.m. run in the morning, right? So there's definitely a possibility for you to achieve whatever you want to achieve. It doesn't have to be to relocate to Mexico. It can be to just overall just achieve whatever you want, right? Buy that mansion in the US, move to Miami, move to Merida, move to Colombia, move to Brazil. Talk to the people that have done it before you and figure out your own path from the advice that they give you. Okay, let's see. Hey Jay, how are the people in Merida and their personalities? Oh, my bad. Did we lose chats? Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, Charles, I don't know what happened there, bro. What's the radio stations like types of songs being played? Bro. Honestly, 9 times out of 10, bro, I don't even be listening to the radio out here. Like when I take Ubers and DDs, I either have my AirPods on or I have my Ray-Ban Metas on. And the Ray-Ban Metas have the speakers in them so you can listen to music and still be aware of your surroundings. And I don't particularly listen to the radio, but from the times that I have listened to the radio, it's just been the normal Spanish music like Bad Bunny and Peso Pluma, and all those artists, man, from here. What airline do you prefer to take? Very good question. When it's like a one-off type of deal and I'm staying for a week or more, I prefer flying Aeromexico. It's low-key the Delta Airlines of Mexico, and I love flying Delta in the US. And Aeromexico is the best airline here in Mexico, and I love to fly them when they're affordable because they allow you to bring a carry-on and a personal item for free. But other airlines like Vivo Aerobus, Volaris, and a lot of others, they'll charge you for the carry-on item, right? And they'll allow you a free personal item. But when it comes to flying in Mexico, period, bro, if you can afford Aeromexico, easy. It's the Delta Airlines of Mexico. I'm gonna take a bite. You guys give me more questions, man. It can be about anything. It can be about travel, girls, cell phone plans, life, how to build a physique. Let me know about anything. I've done it all, bro. I've done it all. This is busting, bro. These chilaquiles, oh my god. I'm surprised no one's asked about safety. Nobody's asked about safety out here either. But just in case you guys are wondering, Mexico, overall, it's a dangerous country, right? We can have a consensus there, right? We can all agree. But when you look at the data and the statistics behind the crime, the deletions out here, the gang activity, and you compare it, right? You compare it apples to apples with the USA, those crime statistics, the US is much more dangerous than Mexico is or has ever been. I want to say confidently, bro. Because the cartels, they won't mess with you if you don't mess with them and you're not like messing with their territory or what have you, all right? So as long as you do that, you're nice to people, you're very courteous, and you won't have any issues whatsoever out here, bro. I promise you. You saw, like, you literally saw me. I was out at 5 a.m. doing a run, right, in Mexico. And then the first stream I was doing here, as soon as I landed, we were streaming until like almost 3 a.m. in the morning, and I was walking around in the streets by myself. Safe. Everything is safe for the most part, man. Just don't mess with people out here. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do, bro. Just mind your business. Mind your business, man. Let me know if you got any Fresh Prince fans in the house, man. If you guys remember that that episode where Ashley got into a fight in school and Will told her to mind your business. All right, chat. We've been on for more than an hour now. Y'all got any questions, man? Otherwise, we just shooting the shit right now because we already discussed dating. I'll give you guys step by step on how to properly date seriously here in Latin America and how to weed out 304s, weed out women that don't want to, that just want you for your money. I told you guys how to avoid all of that and get an actual woman out here. No, every single bite, I'm like, yo, this is so fire. Yeah, all my food's cold, my coffee's cold, but it's worth it to hang out with y'all, man. I think I'm gonna get another coffee. I've been up since 4 a.m. I'm still pretty wired, man. It's kind of crazy, like what a workout does for you in the morning. As far as like energy, it can be literally a natural coffee. Man. I don't really party when I come out here. Either. I've noticed that with the last couple of trips I've had out here. I don't know if it's like me getting older, like me being 36, and not really wanting to be in the club scene like that anymore. But I low-key just come out here for mental relaxation, right? We're so stimulated in the US, right? So it can be stimulation from like watching TV, watching CNN too much, watching too much YouTube, consuming too much Netflix, always on our phones, just like doing this all the time, right? And doom scrolling, and that constant, those constant distractions really are eliminated here if you want them to be, right? My cell service sucks out here, so I'm not gonna be on my phone. My Airbnb doesn't have a Netflix-enabled TV, so there's no Netflix. I really don't mess with Netflix like that on my phone, and it kind of forces you to really get out here in the real world to a degree, and that's such a sad thing to say. We've moved so far away from trying to interact with people since like COVID, right? And we just never went back to pre-COVID type of ways. But here, it's different. It's just different. I can't explain it. I can't explain it, man. You just gotta be here, man. Another place I do want to visit is Tijuana. It's so close to the States. It's so close to San Diego. I've never been. But I heard it's a little, it's a lot less safe than other places in Mexico. So I would have to go with somebody that is like a pro at like making moves around there. So I may have to partner up with my boy QB and go out to Tijuana and show you guys the real Tijuana. I mean, have y'all, like, what other cities have y'all been to in Mexico? And let me know your experience, because I'm looking at the chats right now. So if you guys reply in the chats, I can see it. So if you guys have been to other cities in Mexico, let me know which city you've been to and what was your experience there and how did you like it? Ooh, Antonio, another good one, bro. Best non-Mexican food you've had in Mexico? That's a very interesting question, but a very good one, and I'll answer that. I'll answer that too. I would say, bro, there is. I'm trying to think of the restaurant's name, bro. It's not coming to me because I haven't been to Guadalajara in so long. 8 months. The place is called. Damn it, man. 1 second, man. I'm gonna actually look it up because I don't want to just leave you like that. It's burger Guadalajara. It's actually a burger spot, bro. I got it. So it's a spot called Louis Burger in Guadalajara. Louis Burger in Guadalajara. Bruh, let me tell you. That place, like, it needs a video, like a standalone video by itself. They make the buns in-house. They make the burgers fresh. And the food is just so good. And they have a location in Zapopan where they actually have a live DJ. They have a live DJ playing music while you eat a cheeseburger, bro. Like, it's crazy. That's like having a live DJ at like a store. Like, why do you need a DJ at a store and you're just shopping around? They can just play it. They can just play music from like a playlist. Like, you don't need a DJ like spinning, but they have that. Best burger I've ever had on earth, bro, is that place. Louis Burger in Guadalajara. Best non-Mexican food I've ever had in my life in Mexico. I'm gonna take another bite. Antonio, give me another question, bro. Like, you're asking some good questions, and everybody else joined in too. Ask questions, man. I'm here for you guys, man. We're just getting started. Hey, somebody was trying to walk by, and he looked at the camera. He was like, "Oh shit!" He walked, he walked right back around. Give me questions, guys. I'm here. I met hundreds of expats here in Mexico. And I've gotten a lot of stories and how people actually relocated to Mexico. So if you guys really want to know how to relocate and do it sustainably, let me know. I met guys from crazy walks of life that moved here. What European countries have you visited or want to visit? James, good question. 1 second. So, I'm thinking. So I've been to the UK, I've been to Spain, France, Brussels. Brussels is a city, my bad. And where else have I been? I've been to Ireland and Germany. I had a layover in Germany. Absolute trash. I'm just kidding. No, I just had a bad experience at the airport. But that's it. I did like a full 2-week Euro trip where I went to those different countries all at once on one trip. Hold on, I think it's like an auto moderator, so they're moderating the chat. So my apologies, guys. I may have to turn off that moderator in the chat. But hey, the chat moderator will get at you for stuff if you do some crazy stuff in the chat. But I think I gotta turn it down a little bit because I think it's too sensitive. So I'll fix that by the next live. So my apologies, Charles, for the chat bot kind of like knocking your chat out. And then, yep, Belgium. Yeah, I was like, Brussels is the city. Belgium is the country. Yeah. So that chat bot, I'll have to just tune the sensitivity down. But yeah, if you guys are in Merida, bro, like right now, if you're in Merida, pull up on me. I'm at Natido in Central. This shit fire, bro. But out of the European countries I visited, my favorite, I gotta say Spain, bro. Spain was lit. I wish I was like a YouTuber like back then, like a travel YouTuber back then, because I would have showed you guys like I ate shark for the first time in Spain. I went to Madrid. We ate shark and we had a calamari sandwich in Spain. Beautiful, awesome food. One of the things that I did see, and it's kind of the same thing in France as well, is there are a lot of African immigrants in Europe. So you have people from African countries that relocate to France, relocate to Spain, and they'll have like big carpets, not carpets, but like blankets, and they'll put like souvenirs on top of these blankets, and they'll sell the souvenirs to tourists that come to the city. And then when the cops come by, because what they're doing is obviously illegal, when the cops come by, the African immigrants, they'll like grab the four corners of the blanket, pack up and leave. Like I've seen this happen. It's crazy. But even in different countries, man, Africans, they're hustlers, bro. And I commend that. What's the current weather in Merida, bro? Hot as shit. But I'll give you the exact temperature. Let me see. So right now, in Fahrenheit, it is 96 degrees, and I think in Celsius, it's, what is that, like 30, like almost more than 40? No, todavía.
I'm just curious, are you like an influencer or something?
Yeah, I'm a YouTuber.
Sorry, I just didn't want to interrupt you.
No, it's okay.
So I didn't interrupt you or anything.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
And also, I'm kind of like, I don't like appearing in like videos.
Bro, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm telling you, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, see, you meet cool people like that, bro. But But yeah, it's 90, bro, it's 90 freaking 6 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's like 41, 42 degrees Celsius. But I think I got a question again about the people of Merida. You get people like that, bro. We had a young guy that was just asking me if I was an influencer off camera, off stream, of course. I was like, I'm not really an influencer. I just get on like live streams and just talk to people and try to just deliver as much value as possible, because I receive so much value from other people on a daily basis. People from different walks of life, from different countries, different continents. All of that info comes into me, and I think it's my duty to communicate that with you guys, right? Because I come from one walk of life, right? I didn't grow up with much, right? I'm not like a super rich dude or whatever. Like, I make a decent living now, but I love to hear stories of people that don't look like me, come from different backgrounds than me, and still make it in life. And I love that. I love hearing those stories, and it's my duty to let you guys know that it's like anything is possible, no matter where you come from, no matter what country that you currently live in, whether it's Mexico, an island somewhere, you can still make it in this world, bro. You have to just really want it bad enough. You'll see any Jose Ortega's videos. I'm pretty sure he is one of the most known YouTubers out of Merida. Yes, I actually, I may have to reach out to Jose. I've seen a lot of his videos out here in Merida. Yeah, Jose is a really good YouTuber, man. I'm going to reach out to him. I also, there's another guy named Monty, and his YouTube channel is Mexit Plans. I actually met him yesterday, and I'll have to see if he wants to collab too, but he's more of like he's more reclusive, in my opinion. He's a great guy overall, but some YouTubers just don't want to collab, bro. And that's why like I try to refrain from overtly asking a YouTuber to collab with me. What I'll just kind of build rapport with that person first, because people reach out to me wanting to collab all the time, right? They look at my subscriber count, they're like, oh shit, Jay's at 20K subscribers, and then they're like, oh, let me just reach out to him, see if he wants to collab. And then I see the comment or whatever, I'll look at the YouTube channel, and the person may not have a lot of subscribers, and I don't really look at subscriber count. I look at how consistent you are, and also how many views you have per video. Not necessarily if you don't get like X amount of views, I won't collab with you. But if you're not consistent, odds are I probably won't collab with you. Even if you have no viewers, no subscribers, but you're consistent and your content is good and it gives value to people, I'm going to collab with you, because you're showing me the social proof that I need to put my brand on the line to introduce you to my audience, right? Because I'm not getting anything from it. I have to make sure that I'm putting a guest on here that's going to provide you guys some value. I do get approached a lot to do collabs, and I do turn a lot of them down because they're not consistent enough and they don't provide enough value to their audience first, and then in turn that wouldn't give you guys any additional value to the channel. So this is a business, bro, at the end of the day. Like, I love speaking to you guys, I love hanging out, but at the end of the day, this is a business, man. Like, money comes out of my pocket for these trips, for these meals, for these phones, this equipment. It needs to sustain itself as a business, right? And I try to really value myself on having the best production quality for an IRL streamer or a live streamer as possible. Because a lot of YouTubers that produce content, that produce travel content, it may be entertaining, but the quality's not there, bro. No external microphones, no additional cameras, no equipment. It doesn't look as professional or as polished as my live streams on the go look like now. Let's see. But yeah, answer your question, Alex. Yeah, I've seen. In short, yeah, I've seen his videos. And yes, I will have to reach out and collab with him. I got to just figure out how to do it. I know he's in a lot of the Facebook groups I'm in. I see him post all the time. And yeah, I'll have to figure out how to get in contact with him. And you guys may see him on the channel. You never know. That's why you got to be subscribed, bro. Be subscribed and hit the bell notification. If not, you're going to miss out. Because you never know what value he's going to be able to provide for you guys. And if you guys don't know who Jose Ortega is, he moved from the U.S. I think he was living in California, if I'm not mistaken, or at least on the West Coast. But he relocated to Merida with like $1,000 in his pocket and made it work and made it happen. Crazy. That story needs to be told, bro. So setting the standard, setting the live stream standards and broadcast. Yeah, bro, I try to, man. It ain't perfect. It's never perfect, bro. Only thing I can do is get better and better, and probably do a speed test before I do a live stream. Is probably a good idea too. I just thought that all cafes had really strong Wi-Fi. Not here, bro. Not here. Not here at all, bro. Not here at all, bro. And that's why the stream went out for a second there, because of the Wi-Fi just kicked the bucket. And luckily, the software I use on this phone, it tries to reconnect, so it doesn't interrupt the stream entirely. I don't have to restart the stream. It just continues it from where it left off. Bro. Ecom Dynamics is crazy, bro. That's crazy work, man. Yes, bro. I try to be like a clean YouTuber, like a cleaner YouTuber out here, but simply put, yes. Too much, bro. You too much, man. That's funny. I don't know if that was a question or a statement, but I answered it like it was a question. Y'all funny, bro. Those are everywhere, man. Those are everywhere. 304s are everywhere. The trouble is finding the girls that are not 304s. That's the issue. And that's the problem. Because when you're done with dealing with 304s, and 304s are the women that Econ Dynamics is talking about. If you guys are not informed, if you put the number 304 into a calculator and turn it upside down, then you'll understand why it's a 304. But the problem is weeding out the 304s to find a real woman to bear your children and start a family with. That's the real issue we're having in this current dating culture. Nobody wants to settle down. Nobody just wants one person. That's the crazy part. So crazy, bro. And that's why you have to be a top tier guy. Nowadays you gotta be in the top 1%, man. To really get a good girl, I always give this analogy, right? Whenever I'm talking about modern dating and like self-improvement as a man, we are biologically engineered to chase after women, right? Or to attract women. But there comes a time in your life, like when you reach like your late 20s, early 30s, when you have to understand that you have to stop chasing. You have to give up cat to improve yourself to get more cat in the future. And that plays into the idea of delayed gratification too. Delay that gratification. Like you can get a girl now, but she's mid, she may have a high body count or whatever, she may not take care of you the way that you want to be taken care of. You can get that now, sure. She may not be faithful to you, she may not love you, have that burning desire for you. And some guys are okay with that. But if you want that higher quality chick that is like a 6, 7, or 8 and takes care of you, respects you, and truly has that burning, loving desire for you, you have to improve as a man. You have to be that top tier guy. And it takes a lot of work and a lot of time. And a lot of people will tell you that, hey, it's easy to get girls or what have you, these dating coaches or what have you. That's an absolute fallacy. Absolutely false. You have to put in the work first. You have to get in the gym, read, just become more knowledgeable about what's going on in the world, either geopolitics, like real things in the world, man. Not like this fake pop culture garbage that they have going on now, but know about real events that happen here in the world. And then you'll be a much more well-rounded person, and then you'll be able to then attract the woman that you want, right? If you want the best, you also have to be the best. Simple, right? A woman is not going to date down, bro. Only us men will date down. Women only date up, bro. A woman of substance, yes. And there's not enough of those women out here, Charles. A lot of women, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you guys up. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. A lot of women are 304s. A lot. Even the ones that have like very tame social media profiles. That's why you gotta be so careful around here, bro. They will be super thoughts. They end up being super thoughts, even with a very tame Instagram profile. Seen it before. I'm like, yo, you didn't tell me you were a thought. Bro. That's the importance of weeding the 304s out, man. There's multiple methods to do it, and you have to do all of them. And if that girl passes every single one of those tests, I don't want to call them tests. I would just say vetting periods. Then you can go on the first date. You have to have standards too as a guy. If you're that top percent guy, you got to have high standards as well. That's true, Charles. That's true. I need some more water. I'm gonna go grab some more water. Hang tight for a second, guys. Hola. Sí. Ah, disculpa. Bro, it's taking me almost 2 hours to eat this one chilaquiles. I'm having fun, man. I'm chatting up with y'all, man. Oh, man. I do need water, though. I've been talking for almost more than 90 minutes. For sure, I need some water. I'm here for you guys, though. I do it for y'all, low-key. But any questions, man, I'm here. I'm here, bro. I'm going back to the chats to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Ecom dynamics, bro. Hilarious. Sí, gracias. No, no, todo bien. Todo bien. Gracias. Again, guys, learn the language. Learn the language, like, not just to get girls, but just to communicate, bro. I'm trying to think if I can give any tips on which language to kind of learn first, if English is your primary language or your first language. Obviously, Spanish would be my #1 recommendation to learn as a second language. Just based on, not based on just the proximity to the USA, like all of the Spanish-speaking countries in the proximity. It's also that we have a lot of Spanish-speaking people in the US, period. And there are some cities in the US that don't have a lot of Spanish speakers, and you need to learn Spanish, or you need to know Spanish. So Spanish would be my recommendation to learn as a second language if you are a primary English speaker, not only just to talk to women, but just to talk to anybody that speaks Spanish, man. But maybe speaking to the women in Spanish can be your motivation.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Where are you from?
Las Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah, where are you from?
Not Vegas, man. That's a complicated question. I was born and raised in West Texas, but went to university in Texas,
Yeah.
University of Texas. But I spent the rest of my life, my entire professional career in Los Angeles. So,
Really?
where am I from? Because really, seriously, I spent more time in Los Angeles and Texas, but all the formative years as a cowboy in Texas. But I couldn't live in Texas today. Those backward-ass redneck fucks, Elon Musk and Trump and shit, I'd lose my goddamn mind.
Yeah.
There'd be gunplay. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
Since I was raised a cowboy, these fuckers like to act like I can't shoot. I can't shoot! Don't shoot at me, I'll shoot
Yeah.
back.
How are you liking Merida so far?
How do I like what?
How do you like Merida so
Oh,
far?
Merida. Well, I've been coming here about 8 years.
Okay, 8
I
years.
bought during the pandemic about 5 years ago.
Oh, so you own property out here?
Yeah, I
Okay.
live here full time.
No way.
Yeah. So I must like it a lot.
Buenos días.
Buenos dias.
I'm sorry, your name?
Jay.
Jay.
Yeah.
Jay. Martita.
Marta.
Martita Jay.
Martita?
I'm Brian.
Brian?
Or El Brian.
Okay.
I'll explain that joke in a minute.
Okay.
Because you're not Mexican, you wouldn't get it.
Okay.
But I'll explain in a minute. But anyway, I spent 18 months
Yeah.
driving myself by myself through all of Mexico, every state before.
Yeah.
All of Guatemala, all of Belize. And this is the place I chose to live.
Really? Why is that?
Why? There's not a simple answer. That's like, what do you love about your mom? Right?
Yeah.
There's no fast answer that's not going to make you sound dumb at some point, right? There's so
Right.
much. But it's not for the reason everybody defaults to, which is because it's safe. I have been throughout all of Mexico, literally, seriously, every single state. I spent 18 months. I know it better than most Mexicans.
Wow.
There are a lot of places in Mexico that are very safe.
Yeah.
There are some places in Mexico that are dangerous some of the time. And then there are other places in Mexico that are dangerous almost all the time, like the border.
Yeah.
But the mistake, and the mistake Americans make, is thinking that the border is dangerous now because of narcos, and not understanding that 200 years ago the border was dangerous. It's never not been dangerous.
That's
Between
true.
Pancho Villa, the United States military invading Mexico twice, the Texas Rangers used to lynch Mexicans just to send a message to everybody else. We can do it to anybody.
That's
don't,
true.
Don't beat somebody.
Yeah, that's true.
And they did that because the Mexicans called the Texas Rangers Las Ranchas, whereas in Texas they're revered. But in those days, they were corrupt and evil.
Oh, I didn't know
They
that.
also did some good stuff too.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like anything else. I think you go back in time to a certain point, you can historically look back through the lens and judge everybody as evil and corrupt because they were.
That's true. And the winners write history.
The winners write history because the losers are dead.
Exactly.
Or they
Exactly.
wouldn't piss off the winners anymore. You know?
Yeah.
Or you don't even have to be a learner.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, quite, I don't want to get into politics because it's just stupid, it's a waste of time. But when you have the President of the United States saying that Russia started the war with Ukraine, when it's a fact Russia invaded Ukraine, I mean, pardon, the Ukraine started the war with Russia, but it's a fact that Russia invaded Ukraine. That's rewriting history. Like,
Yeah.
we know Russia invaded Ukraine, not trying to fight Russia. They're like, no, man, we're a small country. We got some hot chicks. We just want to get drunk. Leave
Right,
us alone. And
right.
We're corrupt, but so is most of the world. Like Italy and Greece are pretty corrupt too. So really, you know, we're not different. But so I think there's a lot. But
Yeah.
the reason I liked it here was at the time it was very cool. It's close to the ocean without being on the ocean.
Yes.
It's close to the Caribbean without being on the Caribbean. I didn't want to live in Panama because the culture there is the criminal culture. They like to rip people off.
Everyone. Well, I heard that a lot of the tour people and the people that offer services out there, they're a part of the cartel.
It's more complicated than that. A lot of times the cartels, the narcos,
Yeah.
get blamed for things that really. It's a little bit like when a cop beats somebody and we blame the mayor.
Okay, yeah, I got it.
Is it the mayor's fault? Yeah, but no, at the same time, it's kind of everybody in that line between the cop and the mayor also complicit, you know? So what happens a lot, she doesn't imply the harm. So,
Oh, okay.
what happens a lot with that is that a lot of times you have lightly affiliated street criminals who do actually have to pay upward. And that money does make it to the narcos, but the narcos don't have them on a tight leash of marching orders.
Oh, okay.
They know kind of what they're supposed to do, kind of what they're not supposed to do, but on a day-to-day basis, it's not hierarchical. They're allowed to go do whatever the fuck they want, as long as that envelope is there every week, and it's the right amount. And then sometimes the narcos will send a message down, take care of this problem or take care of that problem. But most of the time, they're free to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And then when they cross the line, like those guys that shot up those tourists in South Texas that crossed over in Matamoros.
Oh
right?
yeah, I remember that.
Those were street criminals, not narcos. They really call them narcos, but they weren't.
Yeah.
The narcos found out that they crossed the line and were bringing all this attention on their business. And if you remember, the narcos hogtied them,
Yep.
left them in public, and said, "Those are your guys.
Yep.
Now leave us alone. We have business to do." That's really more the way it is.
Yeah.
So a lot of times the narcos are blamed. It's when it's just criminals.
Yeah, and
Thank you so much.
I tell my audience, I'm actually live streaming right now on YouTube.
Oh, shit.
We are talking about that.
So I tell my audience, people have this thought process or this opinion about Mexico about it being not safe, and I tell them it's actually pretty safe the majority of the time, and the cartels won't mess with you if you don't mess with them.
The
Most,
same that it happened in any kind of
Yeah.
country or culture you visit, you must respect it, right?
Yeah.
yeah. Well, the narcos themselves aren't looking to terrorize tourists because that's not their business.
Right.
Most narco violence, not exclusively, but almost all, is directed at other narcos. It's business violence.
Mm-hmm.
And hanging bodies from a bridge is a way to send a business message. It's marketing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But those are not school children being hung from bridges.
Right.
So it's a little different thing there. So it's where it is different is the sense that all these other groups operate independently and called narcos. But just like you're in Vegas, Vegas in the past 20 years has some neighborhoods that are kind of rough. Didn't used to have really, really rough neighborhoods, but now does.
Yeah.
Los
Yeah.
Angeles certainly always has had rough neighborhoods. Detroit, you can't Baltimore, God damn, that's a war zone. Not really, but you know what I'm saying? Every city has places you don't go. And if you think of Mexico in that sense, there are areas and regions you don't go.
Of course.
And if you go though, you avoid them, and you're not going to have problems. Like you said, you're not in the narco business.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
But like if people go to, let's say, well, let's talk Fifth Avenue, right?
In Playa.
Fifth
Yeah.
Avenue, like, you go there. There are a lot of places you go there. People will try to sell you drugs.
Yep. All the time.
Right. Exactly. Those are not narcos.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks those are just street criminals that we talked about. That's their area. They fight among other street criminals, just like street gangs in LA or everywhere else do for that territory. That's how they monetize it.
Yeah.
And if they cross the line and do something wrong, then it does come down because the money that they earn does, not all of it, a percentage of it does have to flow up.
Yeah.
And that money flows up to the narcos, and that money also flows up through the government.
Yeah.
It's always good.
So I'm doing like a YouTube live stream from a different cafe every single day while
There's a bunch of great ones.
He's
Yeah.
got great recommendations. You
Really?
Listen to him. Yeah.
Brian, we have to exchange
Yeah,
contact
I'll
info
definitely do
for
it.
sure.
I'll set
Yeah.
you up. There's a bunch of great places.
Yeah. Because
You already probably know. You probably been to a bunch of them.
Yeah, I've been coming to Merida for the past 3 years, just off and on, and I've been getting I have my temporary residency now, but I get my permanent residency next year, and that's when I'm planning to get my bank account, get my RFC.
You can get it right now with your temporary. You don't need a bank. You don't need to wait for permanent for your bank account. You got a current, right?
Yeah, I
You
do.
can get a bank account tomorrow.
Oh, I was told that like they were okay.
I'm temporary resident right now. I got a bank account. Got a curve, got a bank account, got it all.
I'm gonna do that. Yes. Is it difficult because I went through a lady to get my temporary residency
He can get
done.
your guru too. He can help you with that.
Yeah.
That's a trick question.
Yeah.
Is it difficult?
Yeah.
Anything involving bureaucracy in Mexico, is it easy? So the question is kind of self-evident.
I would say the question is, are you patient?
Right. It's not.
I'm very- yeah,
It's,
very-
there's nothing magical you have to do. There's nothing difficult you have to do. But you do have to bring forms and produce, different ID and and produce bills with your name and address, with all the simple documentation.
Yeah.
One forgotten document, and you start with it.
Yeah. I've heard of horror stories.
And it does take time at the bank. You'll be there for several hours. It's just the way it works.
Yeah.
But you don't have to wait till you're permanent resident.
Okay. I may plan to do that then,
Yeah.
sooner than later for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's totally great.
Wow.
And the great thing is with the temporary residency, as you know,
Yeah.
you can continue to renew it indefinitely if there's ever a hang up with the permanent. But if they didn't tell you, in a year when you go for your permanent residency,
Yeah.
if you don't apply, let's say a month before your permanent residency, your temporary residency expires, you have to start the process.
All
kind
over.
of. Well,
Yeah.
you might go back 1 year, you might have to go back 4 years, but you're not going to get your permanent residency at least for another year. So you have to start the process a month before your temporary residency expires.
Yeah. That's my plan. That's my plan is to.
But it's not. They're not going to cut you any slack. It'll be another year. There's no comeback in a month. It's a year minimum. And some people at that point just go back and pay the 4 years, and that's too much headache.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I did. I got it one time, renewed for another 3,
Yeah.
and my 4th year will be 2026, and then I'm permanent.
Well, unless things have changed, because things have changed
Yeah,
with relations between the countries.
that's true.
So they've changed the rules on residency with income verification, minimums, and documentation, and they're a little more stringent than they used to be, let's say.
Right.
But if it doesn't change next year for you, you won't have to do anything other than show up, pay the fee, go through the process of waiting in line at immigration, and you'll leave with your car.
I can't wait, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait. But the plan is to just buy land, sit on it until I'm ready to build.
But you don't have to wait for permanent residency to buy land.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the actual money to do it. I've already purchased property. I purchased a rental property in Indiana,
Perfect.
so that's starting to generate passive income. But I want to purchase additional properties to just grow that passive income,
Yeah.
so I can come and stay in Merida and never have to leave.
Well, and something you do is if you own property in the United States
Yeah,
and the market continues to appreciate,
yeah,
you can refi that property and pull out enough to buy property here in cash and service that low interest loan in the United States. Because as you know, access to capital here is practically impossible.
It is
And the
impossible.
interest rates
Yeah.
are sky high. I mean, it's not that you can't borrow money, it's hard to borrow money.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't make any financial sense to borrow money.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, the interest rates outstripping even the appreciation in a boom town like Merida.
Yeah.
You're never going to be right side up.
It'll never pay off for
Math
you.
just never works.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'll let.
I didn't know you were live streaming. I just talked to your so I bothered.
Oh no, it's okay. You guys are not bothering me at all. Yeah. You're actually.
Well, you're probably getting the feed right now going, who is that fat bald gringo and why won't he shut
No.
up?
I'm just watching it here. Yeah.
Just let me to reply.
Yeah.
I don't know, let me see.
Yeah. Chat. If y'all got some questions for Bryan,
Yeah, I will do that.
he's been here for years, man, longer than me. So if you guys got questions about Merida in particular, let me know. I'll ask him for you guys.
Oh, okay. Oh, I did.
Let me know. Well, I appreciate y'all staying in, man.
Huh?
Well, this is really good content. Let me know. Can you guys hear him? That'd be cool because I didn't bring my second microphone.
Right, well, will you ask her what she thinks when she comes?
But if you guys can hear him, let me know. That'll be awesome. We can get a conversation going, bro.
You better take that, 'cause that's out.
And this is why I love coming to Merida. You get impromptu meetings like this, and you guys are seeing it
I don't know because I'm
in real time. In real time,
and
man.
have the mothership once it goes off.
This doesn't happen too often in the States. I promise you that. What is the exchange rate? Mexican peso to USD? Right now, bro, I roughly do the conversions 20 pesos to the dollar, but it always fluctuates. Let me see.
That's what I'm saying, ask what she thinks.
Ask her what
And whatever she thinks is better, I'll have.
Right now, the conversion rate is 19.24. I just rounded up to 20, bro. Makes it easier to convert in my head. Okay, so you guys can't hear Bryan. Okay, cool.
Small lesson.
Yeah, and I have a travel YouTube channel, and I let people know like the process of getting their residency, how to get a remote job so you can actually be a digital nomad. It's all informational and entertainment as well.
Do you get in the foreign earned income exemption? Oh my God, I'm about to blow you some news up. And you are going to be buying me dinner in the future. You're going to be like, that fat bald bastard. Okay. I mean, it's super quick because you're live.
No, you're a part of it right now.
Well, but for tax purposes,
Yeah.
the U.S. government, if you meet certain residency requirements in Mexico, let's say you're in Mexico you're out of the United States. You have to be in Mexico. You can be anywhere in the world. You're out of the United States all but 30 days a year. Your first $130,000 earned is tax-free at the federal level.
Whoa.
It's a payday, baby.
Whoa. Did y'all hear that, chat?
And in addition to that, there is a program within Mexico that there's a term for it, I don't remember right now, but if you're working for, let's say, a foreign company, you can then qualify for a 2.5% Mexican income tax rate. And that's fully deductible against anything you earn over $130,000 in the U.S. So you're doing A-okay if you just know how to. The math on that suddenly, you know, if you're even if you're earning 130, that's a car a year. That's a free car.
That's true. That's very true.
That's a free car.
Hey, do you have a question? Yeah.
I was just curious about something. Do you have like a YouTube channel or something? That
I do.
What's like
Yeah.
your YouTube name?
Yeah, it's in English. It's Trippin with J. So, like taking a trip, like a viejo, like a trip.
Taking a trip?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's,
hi. Oh, sorry.
I can type it for you. Oh, okay.
Jay, you're not being fun. It's much funnier to make the high joke. It's much funnier to make the getting stoned with Jay joke. And you're like,
Stoned with
traveling
Jay.
with Jay. That's literal, man. Come
Yeah.
on. We have some mezcal. It'll be tripping with Jay.
Seriously, and I made the name because I can play on both sides. I can actually do trips, and I can also have conversations about controversial
And I
stuff.
know about ayahuasca, so it all works out. No, I mean, Hamilton is my friend,
I agree.
guys.
So, tripping with Jay.
Here, let him do it.
I can type. No?
Can you spell it?
Yes. TRIPPIN
R-I-P-I-O
and
N.
Like Negro?
with.
Sorry, I didn't mean it
Yeah,
like that.
let's go.
I didn't realize. Now that just came across, and now with the hat and everything else, I just went full racist with zero intent. Oh my God.
With.
With?
Yeah.
I was just thinking of a name that's like George
Yay?
should've said,
Jay?
you know.
Yes.
Whatever.
JAY.
J-A-Y.
Yes. Y'all hear that?
No,
Chat?
but we were trying to use the word in, and I tried to find a Spanish word that starts with in, and so I thought of
Yeah.
the color black in Spanish.
Yes,
not
that's it.
thinking in the-
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna subscribe to your
Not thinking
channel.
that word.
Thank you. What's your name?
Is bad.
My name?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Luis.
Luis?
Yes.
Mucho gusto, Luis.
Mucho gusto,
Thank
Luis.
you. Goodbye. Have a
Bye-bye.
nice day.
Bye, Luis. Thank you.
I was explaining to her that I was, because I'm here, I think in Spanish. So I was thinking, what's a word in Spanish that starts with in? And I didn't realize that that same word in English in America in context is terrible. It's horrible.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's not okay. Kind of fucked up. So
Yeah.
can we consider today's plan?
Like, don't stream that in your video.
Oh, huevos, por favor. Huevos. Over here. Gracias.
Bonita, ¿y me podrías traer otro café?
I'll ask him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You're gonna ask me if I'm racist? It's
No, no,
okay.
no. It says one of the guys says the tax exemption is up to 100K. I'm pretty sure, but it's
I
100.
think it's 130 now. I think
Oh,
you
okay.
adjust. They're just like there is the inflation adjustment.
Yeah.
It adjusts automatically every year.
Oh,
So that
okay.
it may have been, he's not wrong,
Yeah.
but every year it will adjust up. And I believe it's 130 this year. I could be wrong. I'm going to flat out say I could be wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
Not an expert. I'm not a CPA.
Yeah, that's fine. 100, 135. As long as you're over 100,
Hey,
you're solid.
it's a chunk of money to exempt from federal taxes.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a huge chunk.
And this is what I'm saying to you. So if you're talking about how to find a remote job, it dovetails in how much you can save in taxes.
Yeah.
Because that's a raise.
Yeah.
Because that's all pre-tax or no tax money. So every dollar you earn,
Yeah.
that goes in your pocket. That's real.
And not enough people know about legal ways to pay less taxes.
Well, because people aren't rich and don't have CPAs.
Right.
That's the problem. You know, it's like everything else. We have, Gabe kept all this knowledge. Lawyers have their little area, and doctors have their little area, and accountants have their little area.
Yeah.
And it's really hard for anybody to intelligently speak about somebody else's walled garden.
Yeah.
Because there's a financial incentive to keep people out.
That is
Get
true.
off my lawn, you kids.
Yes, someone has to. I hate to say it, but I say this a lot when I speak to my friends. I'm like, listen, we're moving up as far as like social classes, but there has to always be someone to flip the hamburgers, to make the coffee. There has to be someone to do that, and for them to keep doing that for us, you have to kind of not give them all of the knowledge that you have. You kind of have to keep it away from them. But it's until you work your way up to a certain point and you hear someone give you that knowledge is when you can start to kind of move up.
When you think about it,
Yeah.
why is university education so expensive? It doesn't need to be.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like the University of Texas, the football program there generates over $100 million in net profits a year. That's an extraordinary amount of money. And I'm all about football, and I'm all about college sports, and I'm happy athletes are getting paid, so I want to be, you know what I'm saying? But I'm also going to say, that money could go a long way to paying for a lot of smart kids to not have any debt.
Yes.
And it doesn't seem to do that.
That's very true.
You know? So when you're talking about that, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I do think that we have established a system that was probably not intentionally set up to do exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It is very effective at doing exactly that.
Yeah, it's
So
been.
at this point, when we're aware that it's doing that and we still allow it to happen, does it matter if it was originally set up to do that? I don't think so. Right?
Yeah, that's very true.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know? So
That's good.
yeah, I don't. But Merida is great. So you could do that for sure with people who want to come here and work.
Yeah.
Effectively pay 2.5%. You know, and it's a win. And
That
it's all
is
money in
true.
their pocket.
It's so true, man.
And I mean, even if you think about it, just even that amount of money over the course of less than 5 years would buy a very nice investment house in Centro.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's expensive in Centro to even begin with.
Right, but I'm just saying, the tax savings alone
Yep.
would effectively give you a free house.
That's true.
And do you need to be back in the U.S. for more than 30 days a year? Sometimes, but for the most part, no. If you can avoid it,
Yeah.
that's free money.
Yeah. And who wants to go back to the U.S. right now?
I've made my position very clear, which is funny because I always get stereotyped as
Yeah.
the guy who made this possible, when I am not.
Oh man, this is great. This is a real great conversation, and I love speaking to expats that have moved down here because everyone comes from a different walk of life, and you get to hear that person's story and know that there's not a singular path to reach that type of freedom to be able to leave the U.S. and come here. And and that's honestly the reason why I do YouTube, is to show people that you could come from nothing and still make it, right? You can come from literally nothing.
It takes very little to, not little, it takes a lot more now than it used to.
Oh, yeah.
But it doesn't take anywhere near the capital to have real nice quality of life here than it does in the United States. I mean, it's a different world.
Yeah.
It's a compromise. I always say to people, the United States has problems. Mexico has problems.
Yeah.
It's different problems.
Right.
So if you move here, or you move anywhere you move at all, you're going to make compromises. You have to be comfortable with those compromises. You know, the compromises here, as I'm sure you told people, is, you know, you don't get that instant gratification. There is not inventory always available.
Right.
You can't search online for what you're looking for, find it, and compare prices. There are a lot of things that we take for granted that are pain points until you just accept at a certain point, okay, that's not the way this is going to work. You know, one of the lessons I learned early is if I am out and I need something, and I'm not sure when I'm going to need the thing, but I know I'm going to need it, and I see it at a store, I buy it now.
Because you never know, it won't be there.
It won't be there when I do need it. That's exactly right. But also, the warranties in the United States, the return policy in the United States don't apply.
Right.
You know, Costco will take your stuff back, but not like in the U.S.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you buy it here, you bought it. It's
final.
done.
It's final.
I made the mistake one time of buying remember the fan I bought that had like a brick in it? I bought that from Home Depot here in Merida. It was a Home Depot. And I was
a
dumb
brick?
because I didn't realize, tell your people this.
Yeah.
When you buy things here that are above a certain price point, open that box up, plug it in, make sure it works, and then pay for it.
Okay.
I was taught that by a very nice lady at Liverpool, of all places. I bought some appliances, and before she let me leave, she was like, she got all full on abuela on me, and it's like, no, we go over here, we open, we plug it in. You need to know that it works, because if it doesn't, it's a problem.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of money, you know. So she was right, and I now do that. Now, whatever I buy, if it works before I leave the store. After that, it's on me.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. I was also telling people about the electricity or the power outages they have here, and we're so used to
It depends on where you live, though.
Exactly. It'll be out in Montebello. It'll be out, or it'll be out in Alta Brisa, but Centro still has power. I'm like,
Yeah, exactly. I've got a friend who lives in Trippin, and she lost power 2 days in a row for the entire night. And I, in the past 6 months, have lost power for maybe 10 minutes total.
yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And I was telling them like,
It makes sense at all because Centro
Yeah.
is the area for
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
tourism.
Tourism.
Not the expats, the tourism.
Yeah.
The money.
Yeah.
So government will look forward to not stop the electricity supply
Yeah.
in the central area.
That's true.
Rather than in the other neighborhoods.
Yeah, and I told them the reason why it's just the constant usage of air conditioning, and I'm like, it runs full send, almost 24 hours. You have businesses that have humongous air conditioners, bigger than those mini splits that they have, and those just run constantly 24 hours, and the grid can't keep up.
Yeah. And also the water, the water
Oh, yeah.
pressure is reliant upon electrical pumps.
Yeah.
And those pumps go out, those hotels are all out of water, and people don't want to spend their vacation smelling.
Yeah.
You know, we're hot. You know, it's a whole new thing. But also, they're really like CFA for all of its problems. Like everybody's got problems.
Of course.
A great example is there was a transformer on my street, and this young lady, sometimes there are accidents that are legitimately accidents, and you just don't understand how they happen. But there was no drinking or reckless driving. It was just don't know how you managed to hit that pole. It's on, but you did. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's a straight street. It's very wide.
Yeah.
But she did. She got the transformer. CFA was out, and in less than 4 hours had replaced the pole, a new transformer, and power was back up and going. In the United States, that would have been up for a couple of days.
Of course. Yeah.
And I mean, that's very efficient here, and it's wonderful. After storms, after the hurricanes, it's the same thing. We'll lose the power for a little bit, but they get it on as quickly as you can possibly imagine, considering a storm just swept through.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it doesn't even go out at all. Like I said, I'm going to jinx myself. It's May, and I can't believe you're here doing a travel show in May. This is the worst month of the
Yeah, it
year
is.
to come here.
It's so hot.
I hate it so much because it's so nice at other times.
Yeah.
But I don't even remember the last time I lost power for any amount of time that was important.
Yeah.
You know?
That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, it is definitely neighborhood by neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I'm fortunate to be in a neighborhood that has power stability.
Yeah, I told them that if you do move down here or live down here for any period of time, see if you're able to ask if your host has solar panels
Yeah.
and batteries as well. Because I lived down here for about 6 months a few years ago. I had solar, no batteries. So when the power went out, I didn't get anything from the solar, and my power just went out. And you have to pair it with batteries.
But
In order to do
I want to make a different solution
Yeah.
that people probably know a lot more about. I'm not an expert.
Okay.
But I looked at that. My problem with the batteries is that the batteries are a little bit of a fire hazard,
Yeah, that's true.
and they're very expensive,
Oh yeah.
and they have a limited lifespan where you can say, all right, at a certain point, I'm going to have to start replacing them. So it is, it's a consumer.
Exactly.
There is the Generac generators, right? They have a whole house generator that sits on the roof, and it's not big. It's only 7,500 watts, but that's more than battery power you're going to have. And it runs off of your natural gas tank. And it's an automatic switchover. So if your power goes out, it switches over, pulls it off I've got a big gas tank on my roof.
Yeah.
Right? So it just pulls it off that. Natural gas is cheap. I don't have to worry about it because it's in the tank already.
Yeah.
And there would be power. A friend of mine I made this recommendation to them, and they're buying that exact thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not a survivalist. You don't need to run the washing machine and the pool pump and 5 mini splits and the oven
Simultaneously.
Right. So if the power goes out and you kick on that thing, you can still do all the things you would normally do and still have space at 7,500. It's only if you were to run around and have everybody turn everything on that you have a problem. So, and that solution is $2,000
It's only 2K?
for the 7,500. See, the thing is, when you get to the 10,000 watt and above,
Yeah.
it start getting really expensive. But the 7,500 is $2,000.
That's worth it.
You can't buy the batteries for that.
Yeah, but that's worth it.
Well, yeah, and that generator is still going to be doing its thing forever, or not forever, but they last a long damn time.
That's true.
You know?
I did not know that.
I am here to serve, Jay. I'm tripping with Jay.
You guys hear that, right? That's awesome, man.
I know my city, my friend.
Yeah, honestly, it's honestly rare to meet another expat that has kind of like been here longer than I have, and you're one of one. You're one of one. Everyone else is like, oh, I've been here for 2 years. I'm like, oh, that's cute. That's I'm like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's not. I mean, the funny thing is, I was here when we had curfews during the pandemic, and nobody like who's been here recently has any understanding that the police were on corners doing checkpoints. You weren't allowed to leave your house after 10 at night,
I did not know that.
and it was a. How much was it? Was it like a 6,000 peso fine?
Sheesh.
It was not the typical Mexican wink wink nudge nudge fine. It was a wake up call fine, and those streets were empty.
Whoa.
It was a ghost town after 10 o'clock at night during the pandemic.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I came like right after they, I guess when they stopped really requiring masks in the US, but they were still requiring them here. And I would get almost yelled at if I took off my cupra boca, like my mask. They're like, no, put it back on. I'm like, I'm eating. It's crazy.
But
Very
it's right.
straight.
There was a lot of social pressure. It was kind of the opposite in the U.S. There was a lot of social pressure for people to be free. But here, people were like, listen, this thing's killing people. Let's not kill anybody because there are old people here and there are children here.
Right.
And you know what? We talk about every place has got problems. Not a problem in Mexico is loving old people and children. They love them both and they protect them both.
Mm-hmm.
They'll fight somebody who tries to come after old people and children in this country. God bless them.
That's true.
God bless them for it.
Yeah.
So I get the mask thing. I do. You don't want to go home and kill your abuela.
Oh man.
From Mexico, I mean, like Quintana Roo is very near from here, and we were not having curfews or we were free to not wear the mask. But
Yeah.
when I was back in Merida, it was like, why you are having all these regulations? So it was just like maybe.
Because all the gringo tourists down there weren't playing the game. Because they think the Mexican law doesn't apply to them because they're gringos.
That's so crazy.
It is a little offensive and crazy. It
Yeah,
is.
I tell them all the time, I'm like, when you come to a different country, whether it's Mexico, Colombia, whatever, you have to, the excuse of not knowing the laws isn't an excuse for when it's enforced.
It's really simple. It's the very old accent of women Rome.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you do back in the United States does not matter. When in Rome, do as the Romans did.
Very true.
We were wearing masks, so you're
Yeah.
wearing your
Yeah.
mask.
That's awesome. That's awesome,
I
man.
mean, you know, you get it. You get it. Merida's special.
It
You
is.
travel to a lot of Mexico.
Yes.
So
This
there,
is,
you know, it's unique.
Yeah.
The culture is unique here, and the proximity to the cenotes and the proximity to the ruins, and now the Tren Maya from Palenque all the
Yes.
way around. You know,
I can't wait till they, I guess when they make it faster than an audio bus.
well, faster and more reliable.
Very efficient. It's just like
Yeah.
have a nice
And more reliable.
train ride.
Yeah, but I think that where they place the stations
Yeah.
for the Tren Maya, it's not convenient to get to, especially like the one that's in Cancun,
Yeah.
because you have, once you land at the airport in
By
Cancun,
airport, right? Yeah.
it's, you still have to take a bus from the airport to the train station. And I would think that they would figure out a way to connect the airport and the bus station without the need of a
Because if
bus.
you're going to get on a bus at that point, you might as well get on the audio and go where you're going to go. instead of
Exactly.
Transferring from one to the other.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I can't see it, but I know that is a little, you know, look.
The thing was the infrastructure of the city already. Like there was no place in the city,
Yeah.
so that we,
Good
well,
enough.
government
Salsa
paid
habanero, por favor.
the stations at the
Yeah. It's expensive.
Oh, yeah, habanero.
It's expensive too. Yeah. But I'll let you guys enjoy your food. I'll finish my own, and before I leave, we can exchange contact information, okay?
Yeah, because we're tripping with Jay.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, of course. No, guys, thank you. Seriously, thank you. Thank you.
drive-by of the, yeah.
All right, guys. Let me stop choking first. All right, you switch the camera a little bit.
You're wearing it now. Just don't smear it on your face.
All right, chat. How'd you guys like that? Okay. I want to make sure the camera's actually framed well before I continue the stream. Hopefully this phone isn't going to die. I'll check the percentage of the battery too. Give me 1 second. Disculpa. Yo quiero más agua.
¿Más agua?
Sí.
¿Quieres que retire el plato?
Sí.
You can say it in English. I'm thinking.
Oh, you can.
Just a little, but I think.
I want to keep
Ah,
it.
okay,
Yes,
sure.
yes. Yeah.
You want like a bigger glass
Yeah.
with ice or?
No.
What else do we have to do before you go?
All right, I think we're still good, chat. I think we're still good.
Oh, yeah. Tubos with
Who's still in the building, man? You guys better interact in the chat, man. Let me know you guys are still watching here.
What is it though? Not a big one.
Perfecto. Gracias. Okay, I think we're good, man. Let's go. All right, we got a few people in the building still. I think we've been going for, damn, guys, we've been going for 2 hours on stream. What other travel YouTuber gives you 2-hour streams, bro? What other YouTuber does that, man? And you guys get value.
What are they called?
You guys get value at every single moment.
Boogers? What is it?
Even cold, it's still good.
Es de ella. Ella. También está la hermana de Rosy. Es súper linda.
Well, Trippin your water.
Sí, se
I'll probably end it soon, though. It's been fun with y'all, man. The air quality, man,
Go back to the beach today.
that's another thing, bro. The air quality in this country as a whole isn't great. But if you look up the AQI, I'm gonna see if I can look up the AQI for Merida real quick. Merida's at 61 right now, so it is moderate. But bigger cities like Mexico City, Guadalajara, those cities have way worse air quality because it's a bigger city, right? So they're gonna have a lot more trucks, gonna have a lot more cars on the road. And when I was visiting Mexico City, they actually had restrictions on which vehicles could actually drive in the city. They had specific days where specific license plate numbers could drive in Mexico City. It gets really bad in Mexico City as far as air quality. So that's a very good question, Alex. But air quality has been an ongoing issue in the entire country. You just have to be aware of what the air quality indexes or the AQI of where you're traveling. And then if you're very sensitive as far as like your sinuses or you have some type of condition that you can't be in an environment where the air quality is terrible, then you really have to pay attention to the air quality in particular cities that you visit. So Merida, I say, was actually pretty decent. If you want to stay outside of the periférico, the circle in the city, that's probably going to give you a little bit better air quality, since in Centro proper, the air quality is pretty bad because they have so many cars, so many trucks. The va-y-ven, which is the bus system here, all of that comes here in Centro, and it makes the air quality pretty bad sometimes. Very good question, Alex. Alex, where are you located, bro? Are you located on the East Coast or West Coast in the U.S.?
Hunkered down in the house a lot.
Because you've been in the lives for a long time. What's the main industry work in Merida? Very good question, man. So from the locals I've met, in Merida proper, a lot of people are, damn, dude. It's a myriad of different things. So I've met dentists out here. I've met government workers. I've met people that work at the mall, the shopping mall. I've met other content creators out here. Honestly, it just depends on what you want to do. And you just kind of just do it. It's a lot less bureaucracy out here when it comes to doing what you want to do. Of course, like tourism is a big thing in the country as a whole. So I would only infer that it's going to be the same out here in Merida, the same that it is in like Playa del Carmen or Cancun, but it's not as a big tourist industry as those cities, obviously. But it's a myriad of different things, man. I've never really thought about that. What? To answer your question simply, retail, bro. Retail is probably the biggest industry here. St. Louis, bro. Man, I think I actually liked St. Louis when I was there, bro. I went to go see the Arch, the St. Louis Arch. But the one thing I could remember from St. Louis is that everything closed early, like bars and stuff. They closed like really early. I was like, bro, I can't go get a beer. Like it's like midnight. Why is everything closed? But yeah, St. Louis is a cool city, bro. It's a melting pot like place. Okay. Charles, are you talking about Merida or are you talking about a different place? Or St. Louis? Oh, man.
Like yesterday place was good, the environment and everything. The food was not, but it wasn't great. The coffee is great here.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I'm feeling a little tired now.
But the thing is, the vibe was awesome. And the staff loves me there.
Oh, St. Louis, yeah. Yeah, it's a melting pot, bro. They have a big Ethiopian population in St. Louis too. A bunch of Eritreans and Ethiopians out in that city. I probably know half the population out there, to be honest with you. And Merida is becoming a melting pot, bro. Merida isn't just a melting pot for expats. It's also a refuge for other Mexicans that live in different cities, like Mexico City, Guadalajara, where it's just so crowded and it takes forever to run errands in those big cities. They relocate to Merida because it's not as crowded. It's very easy to get things done, and the cost of living is a lot less here too than the bigger cities. And this is like I would consider Merida like a little big city because you can still get around with relative ease, but it's getting the problems of a bigger city, slowly but surely. I tell everyone, like, if you are coming to Merida, try to stay away from the area near the airport. That's probably the area that you probably don't want to be in. Just stay north of the airport. Just don't go near the airport. Just get in your Didi, get in your Uber, get away from the airport area as fast as possible. Okay, we got a few more people in the building. Holy. That food seems delicious. Charles, you have not even seen the beginning of the food here. And I told you guys I'm going to a different cafe every single day to do the live stream. So I get a taste of different places here in Merida. I'm not going to the same cafe twice unless I find like a super bomb spot that is worth going back to again. Merida seems dope, but that heat is crazy. Yeah, the heat is crazy, bro. Especially during, like, right now, like May, June, July. That's probably the worst time to come here because of the weather. But unluckily for me, that is actually when I got my residency. So I have to come back and renew next year at the same exact time. And I'm gonna have to experience this heat again. But I think it's gonna be well worth it, in my opinion, to get my permanent residency and really be solidified as a resident of Mexico. I can't wait. I literally can't wait.
Oh yeah, when you were here last time, you saw all the work that we done, how the roads are better now that we. Remember the roads, and down near Plaza Principal, how they do down now, there's no more curves, the roads are, the sidewalks are flat.
I'm gonna try to end the stream before the battery dies on my phone, guys. I will try my best.
Bryan and that those roads with your mom her low care.
But I think you guys have had 2 hours.
And now, great.
2 hours is too much of me, right? But I'm here for all the questions, guys. If I can't answer it, we got somebody that can answer everything about Merida right here.
So, we should also figure out what we need for lunch, because you're going to be eating before you get on the bus.
It's almost time for me to leave. At the same time, I think you are gonna have time to go back home so that you will eat.
If I was to visit Merida, one thing, place, or food would you say I must visit, have?
What we can get you to eat.
Good question, Charles.
Because you're going to need something.
I kind of alluded to this yesterday, on yesterday's stream, as far as the top 3 things I would do in Merida if it was my first time here.
Something we can take.
The first thing I would do, bro,
But some tickets are fine.
is
Want some what?
go to a cenote. Go to a cenote.
Now I'm trying to, you didn't even open it.
The food,
Mostly now.
go to,
Never said it, but I always feel that
there's this place called La Chaya Maya
just because he doesn't want
in Central.
the house.
If you go to La Chaya Maya, try the pollo pibil, and they have a green drink called chaya. Try chaya and pollo pibil at La Chaya Maya in Central. That is going to be the food that you must try. They have tons of other food that is absolutely amazing, like out of the park amazing. But I would definitely go to La Chaya Maya to eat. And so I got the place, I got the food, and just one thing. If it's your first time in Merida, get an Airbnb or get a hotel in Centro.
Let's just leave this here.
Okay.
And I'll ask you.
So don't try to like book an Airbnb that's outside of the city center when you're here, because it's going to be a pain in the butt to get in a Didi or an Uber every single time you need to go somewhere. get an Airbnb or a hotel in Centro, and what that's going to allow you to do is it automatically makes the city walkable for you. So you can walk to a cafe like this in 5 minutes if you stay in Centro. Right? Annie Betsy with the $19.99 tip. Annie, oops, my bad. Annie, thank you so much for that. Guys, Annie is in the building. A new subscriber as well, man. That's awesome. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. How do I celebrate that? That's so dope, man. That's love. That means that you guys really, really mess with me like that. I love that. That's love. And Annie is today's live stream sponsor, guys. Annie is today's live stream sponsor. Thank you for that. That's love, man. About to make me cry a tear a little bit, Annie. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, man, guys, Merida is a very special place to my heart, man. This is the first place in Mexico that I really, really fell in love with, and that was after me going all around the world, right? I've been to Asia, I've been to Japan, Thailand, China. I've been to Colombia, Brazil, Peru, a bunch of countries in Europe, but I always find myself coming back to Merida, to Mexico.
I'm surprised this trip you didn't
I don't understand why, but it's just, if you, for my nomads out there, you guys will understand. There's a place that you find that just aligns with your heart, your values, and also what you like in the culture. And nothing beats Merida in my humble opinion. And you guys heard it from Bryan himself. He's been here for almost a decade, right? You can't beat that.
Unlike you, she's got my back.
All right, guys, I think we're going to be wrapping up here in a second because my phone battery is about to die. And I need to actually go work out. I need to enjoy the day a little bit because I've been literally up since 4 a.m. doing my morning run, live streaming for you guys earlier this morning with a few of the expats that I've met literally in the past couple of days I've been here. But one of the guys that I spoke to this morning that was on the live stream, I've known for about a year and a half, but he introduced me to the other two guys, and that's why I always stress the importance of networking, right? Not only here in Mexico or abroad, but also when you're at home. Networking is so important. It's so important, man. Because you never know who you're going to be introduced to. The person that you get introduced to may be someone that can help you buy land out here, someone that can help you advance your career. It may be someone working remotely that is a hiring manager for a Fortune 500 company that can get you a remote job. You just never know. And that is so important to network with people, to get to know people. Get out. Go outside, man. Go to a cafe. Become a regular somewhere. You just never know who you're going to run into. I didn't know I was going to meet Bryan today. Y'all saw that on stream. He just walked into the cafe, sat right across from me, and we just started talking. On stream, y'all saw that. And that's what networking does. That's the power of networking, bro. You know your worth. You don't need to validate. You just focus on being the best that you can be. I wish I had my soundboard right now, man. Charles, that is a definitely a great comment, bro. I can't wait to show you guys Progreso tomorrow. Progreso is one of my favorite beaches in Mexico, bro. And happy Memorial Day to everybody tomorrow as well. Great networking, yeah.
There's next week and the following week and the following. So she does all the stuff she has to do, and then she catches up on some other stuff, and then she starts a new project. And she's in complete control.
All right. Guys, give me last minute questions. We're going to be wrapping up here in a second. Give me any last minute questions. Anything, literally.
I don't want to
I'll stay on for another few minutes. Then we gotta get up out of here.
I saw you checking out that gal yesterday. Blue green eyes or blue gray eyes. She had nice eyes too.
I mean, here I 5 minutos.
Well, hers were interesting because it was so uncommon. No, I mean, I thought they were uncommon. I thought she was just brown eyes like everybody else. You know, she was very Mexican. She's something.
All right, man. I don't see any new chats.
Is she Spanish? But Spanish isn't even Latin. Is it? But that's what I'm saying. It's exactly. Espanol is Espanol. But I think in the U.S. we probably lump them with Latinos, but they're not. Yeah, I don't know which one. Argentina, maybe.
Oh yeah, this cafe, forgot to mention, it has an outdoor space.
You know the accent. I didn't know the accent,
But
so I don't know.
who the heck wants to go outside in Merida, bro?
Maybe what?
Who wants to eat outside?
That's possible too. Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
If you were to rate the food, scale 1 to 10,
And Nicaragua.
very good question, bro. The food in Merida, man. Damn, I've had so much food here, bro, over the years.
And you know, next time you come,
Damn, bro, so much good damn food.
with the pool. The Nikas that have the coffee shop with the pool.
I would have to rate the food in Merida with 10 being like Peruvian food, and 1 being American fast food, like the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
With 10 being Peruvian food,
I think that
I would have to rate
it's big.
Yucatecan food
The only, like I said, the only
from Merida
is for the freezer to be on the bottom.
a solid 8 to 8.5.
On the bottom that I've ever seen.
But when it comes to other cuisine that they have here, like chilaquiles and things like that, chef's kiss, bro. I would rate it a 10. But Yucatecan food, 8, a solid 8, bro. It's fire. It's fire. The pollo cabil,
Like the size of it,
fire.
I just want the freezer on the bottom. Because when I open the fridge, if I look into a fridge and the fridge on the bottom, I see the whole fridge.
All right, we got a little bit more time.
This, I open the fridge, it's down here, and everything's down below me. Now, for people who are not as tall,
I think that's gonna be it today, man. You guys got a lot of content, a lot of good content today.
for people who are taller, I open the fridge up and I'm staring directly into the door of the freezer, not F2.
Y'all got to see me eat an entire plate of chilaquiles con mole.
Use your hand.
Everything is closed on Sunday.
Right.
All right, guys, we're wrapping up. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to my people, but special shout out to Alex, my boy Alex. Thank you, bro. Charles, of course, and Annie, the sponsor of this live stream. You guys' contributions do not go, like, I'm not taking it for granted. I'm very thankful for it. And I want you guys to have a great holiday if you're in the U.S. or celebrating Memorial Day. And I want you guys to have a great rest of your Saturday. And I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow, man. We're gonna be out here on the beach of Merida, man. And you guys are gonna meet another expat too. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out, and you hit the bell notification so you can be notified when I go live every single day here in Mexico while I'm here. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. You've been Trippin' with Jay. Thank you guys so much again. Peace.